Hey there, welcome to Christ for Life and day 9 of our 40 days of prayer. I'm so proud of you guys for continuing on in this study. And today we're going to be talking about perseverance, but in a slightly different way than you might be used to. And we're going to be in 2 Timothy 2, verse 13. And so let me read that to you. Again, 2 Timothy 2, verse 13. And I'm actually going to start in verse 11 and read through 13 because I think that context is really important. Here's a trustworthy saying: if we died with him, we also live with him. If we endure, we also reign with him. If we disown him, he will also disown us. If we are faithless, he will remain faithful, for he cannot disown himself. And this is really important as we think about the day in which we live. It's really important to remain faithful to the Lord, to endure, to persevere, and to not turn away from your faith. And that's why these verses are so important. Friend, I can tell you that we as children of God, we are called to persevere, even in the midst of all the changes that are going on. I read a statistic today that 33% of Christians who attended church prior to the pandemic now no longer attend church either online or in person. 33%, that's 1/3 of Christians no longer attend church in person or online. And that's really important because they're not persevering. And so, friend, I want to just share with you Matthew 10, 32 through 33, because this likewise points up and shows this idea. This is Jesus speaking. Whoever acknowledges me before men, I will also acknowledge him before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before men, I will disown him before my Father in heaven. And so I know these times are tough, these times are challenging, and Christians in the church are being insulted and really denigrated at every turn. But just as a person doesn't disown himself or herself, so Jesus is not going to disown himself. And what is the implication of that? That if we're not true to the Lord, that doesn't mean that Jesus is going to change his message. The gospel remains true, and Jesus will remain true to himself. And so, friend, let us all encourage each other as iron sharpens iron, so let one man sharpen another. And let us, as we endure, run this race together and persevere, so that at the end of it all, we can look back and say it was a life well lived, and at no point did we disavow Jesus Christ. At no point did we disown him. And going back to those verses in Matthew 10, 32 through 33, let me read them again for emphasis. Whoever acknowledges me before men, I will also acknowledge him before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before men, I will disown him before my Father in heaven. Friend, even if it's not politically correct, even if it's not in vogue, not in fashion, not the cool kid thing to do to be a follower of Jesus Christ, persevere. Because God's not going to disown himself. And he's not going to change his word to suit the times. He's not going to change truth to somehow fit into the new realities of what is popular in culture today. God does not edit his word to fit culture. He speaks to culture, and his word will pierce the heart of all those who he is calling and drawing to himself. Friend, be faithful. We'll see you soon.